Okay, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Oladapo Olatubosun, and I'm officially welcome you all to the first edition of SP Talks. SP Talks is being anchored by Society of Petroleum Engineers, Obafemi Awolowo University Student Chapter. I'm the current programs chair of SPUAU, and I'm a Part 5 student of Electrical Electronics Engineering. So, on the first edition today, we are honored to have the president of the society with us in person of Tim Tope Folorunso. Well, I've worked with Tim Tope for a while now, and I've gotten to realize that he's friendly, he's dedicated, he's hardworking, and he's smart. So, but I'm not in the best position to bring him forth to you. That's why we're here to meet him today. So I'll be welcoming Temitope. Temitope, it's good to have you here. So
Uh,
please, could you introduce yourself? Tell us about yourself.
Thank you very much, Daniel. It's an immense pleasure to to be talking with you today and to let SPOA you meet me in quotes. You understand? Some of SPOA members, if not all, know me already. But it will be a great honor to share some of my experiences with them and get them to know me better.
Okay, that's great, Temitope. So let's go straight into it. Question one: How has been your experience so far as the chapter's president? I realize you've been the chapter's president from August last year. So how has been your journey so far?
Um, Actually, my journey started way before August. It started around February or March, if I remember correctly, because um, then the semester started. So the transition from the previous president to the current president was already in motion, and we went home for for the pandemic. For the lockdown, right? And I moved on with SP activities and with a couple of other executives. So the election only happened in August and the official handover happened in August. But before August, I had been the one spearheading the SPOU activities. So it has not been very easy, I must confess. It is not easy to be a leader, right? Um, there have been good times, there have been bad times, there have been easy times, there have been but in the end, experience. I feel very honored to be the president of this society. It's something that I've wanted to do since I was young. It's very funny, right? So it's been something I've wanted to do
That's great.
since my
I
part one.
mean,
And when I finally became the president, I was very happy. So um, I feel like it's an opportunity. At the same time, it's a responsibility. So I take it as that, and I take it as something that I have to do. Right.
oh, that's beautiful. Being the president of the society. I mean, like that's like being the number one of the society. That's beautiful. But so far, I've come to realize in my short journey in life that it's not easy working with people. I mean, having assistants, having people to report to you. You know, sometimes they might just decide that they are tired and not fulfill what they are supposed to do. So, how do you cope with that? How do you maneuver that, and how do you get them to be in their places and all?
Um, I think the core of leadership is knowing and understanding the people around you, right? Who you are working with, who you are working with, the people you are leading, right? So as long as they are motivated, you wouldn't find it difficult to do certain tasks, right? And to get certain things done, right? So, and that's what I try to do in every step of the journey, in every step of the way. I try to make these people see reasons why they should do these things, see reasons why they should participate in SP, and make them see, you know, the benefits and things they would derive from um, engaging in these activities, right? So, and for different people, obviously their interest will deviate from what we want it to be, right? And it will always happen in every scenario, right? But it doesn't mean that they are not um, interested in the SP, and you don't, and that doesn't mean you should give up on them, right? So every step of the way, I've learned to give people second chances, right, and help them to get better in their duties and in their responsibilities. So, hello, hello, Daniel, are you there? Hello, Daniel. I lost you for a bit there. Okay.
Personally, how has been your journey through the pandemic? You know, a lot of people have just been stagnant. A lot of people have um, they've been stuck, let's say, because the normal way of life they've known over time was taken away from them, and some people had to start from the scratch again. So,
Yeah.
how did you cope personally, and also how did you cope as the president of the society? Because I understand that I'm also part of the society, so I know we've not been in session for a while, and then it's been quite difficult to connect with people virtually and all. So, how did you manage both your personal improvements during the period and also managing a society?
Yes, I've actually got similar questions to this. I mean, during the pandemic, and for me, the pandemic was a period of how do I call it? It was a learning process. It was a journey for me. It was a period where I had to reflect on myself, and I must confess, it hit me hard, and I realized that quite late into the pandemic, because I was in my final year, right, and I was anticipating, having my final exams and just getting out of school and getting SP done, getting over with with SP activities, and and all. But then the pandemic came, the lockdown started, and we had to go home. So I kept on. I felt, oh, we would resume soon, right? So at first I didn't engage in so much, and even with SP activities, we relaxed a bit that, oh, we would resume soon. But it got to a point, we look back and we realize that, oh, we've been into the pandemic so long, and if we don't start doing things now, we just may find ourselves um too long into the pandemic, into the lockdown, and we won't be able to do anything again, right? And would have wasted so much time. So um for SP, I started organizing webinars for our members alongside some other members, right? So two other SP executives, or three, yeah, assisted me in coordinating some of these events and making them happen, right? So until the election happened, and I had my own executives and board members, right? So before then, we had organized several programs and several webinars. In fact, we were meant to have an HSC training the week we went home, right? Was it the week we went home or the week after we went home? But then we had to cancel it, and the HSC event just the HSC training just ended this Saturday. Yeah, today the HSC training just ended today, right? So it just shows how hard this pandemic had hit us, right? And events that we would have had, physically, we just have to make them virtual, right?
To
And
move
for
them
me
virtual.
personally, I've had to reflect on so many aspects of my life. I mean, um, I've had to think about what next after school, because then I was thinking, oh, I will soon leave school. Let me leave school ASAP, right? And then I just had to think. I had no choice but to think, okay, so what if I had left school now? What comes next, right? What am I going to do
Mm.
next? You understand? So I gave it serious thought, and I considered different options, right? Um, And I must say it. I was really in a way blessed by the pandemic because I got exposed to so many things, right? And I learned a lot. I really learned a lot. Yeah. So basically, that's how my pandemic went. My lockdown went. The rest of my pandemic.
Wow, that has actually been a fruitful one, both for the society and personally. That's beautiful. So coming back to this SP, what has been what have you achieved? What have you gained from being a member of Society of Petroleum Engineers? Because when you recruiting new members, they are always looking forward to what will I benefit from this society. So could you share with us some of your benefits from SP?
And you see, I always tell people as a student, right? Um, the 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 least you can do in addition to your education, in addition to your 5 years on campus, is join a society, join an organization, a professional organization, in fact, right? And one that really has the interest of its members at heart, like SPOA, right? So I've been an active member of SPOA since my 100 level, and I don't regret that part of my life for a bit, for any second rather, right? I've benefited a lot from SP. I've had to attend conferences, I've had to attend events, right? I've had to attend seminars, right? And I've gone for field trips. I've been exposed to the oil and gas industry, right? I'm a chemical engineer, and they will tell you that the field that is where we focus petroleum engineering is chemical engineering. In a way, that's not true. But then, when you expose yourself to the industry, when you expose yourself to this industry, you get to know that there are even a lot more fields, right, that are in this industry more than the chemical engineering discipline,
Yeah,
right? So
true.
you see these things, and then you expose yourself, you see what's going on, the current trends in the industry, right? I've been able to network with professionals, with students, with from other schools, from other SP chapters, right? I've expanded my network. I've connected with a lot of people, both in Nigeria and outside Nigeria, right? I have a lot of connects. I have a lot of networks. You understand? And I'm in my final year already. Can you imagine? I started networking from my part two of my part three when I was just trying to get very active in SPOA. You understand?
SP.
So it's been a very wonderful journey for me. I've learned a lot. I had the opportunity to represent OAU in the petrol quiz. That was in 2019, and definitely I should be joining OAU very soon. So um, I've I've just the benefits of being a member of SP is not just it cannot be overemphasized. You understand? So it's just so wonderful, right? We had this HSA training recently. It just like I said, we just conducted the training today, right? It was a subsidized training. HSA trainings that you would do outside for as high as 70,000, 100,000, in fact, right? So we had this subsidized for our members for about 13,000 naira. That's for levels, HSC levels 1, 2, and 3, right? So
Wow,
um,
that's
about
beautiful.
right. So we had a lot of trainings. We have a lot of trainings in stock for them, right? Next week we'll have a petrophysics workshop, right? And this petrophysics workshop, people pay hundreds of dollars to learn these things, right? So there are a lot of opportunities, there are a lot of resources in SP that you can tap into, technical resources. If you are looking to go into the industry, there are a lot of resources for you, technical resources and non-technical resources for you, right? So it's just all it takes for you,
That's
all that
that's that's amazing. I mean, it's like
yeah.
being it's like being a part of a family,
Yeah,
basically.
exactly, exactly. It's a
And in
it's
a
it's a
family,
very
there are
good
different benefits for being part of the. Hmm, that's beautiful. Just 1 second for our online viewers.
okay. Hello.
something about chemical engineering, and I understand that that is your field. Personally, for me, I feel engineering is great, yes, but then there are some other people that are like, well, I'm just in school. Let me pass through this time and go and do something else. So, what has been motivating you right from part one till now to keep the drive as a chemical engineer, and what do you intend to do with learning chemical engineering? Because most people, I personally know of someone that was even studying chemical engineering, and he had to cross to computer engineering because it was like, oh, this thing is so difficult for him. So, what has been motivating you to continue the journey, and also what do you intend to do with being a chemical engineer?
I love chemical engineering so much. I mean, I love chemical engineering so much. If not for my chemical engineering um, um, discipline, I wouldn't have been exposed to SPE, right? And I wouldn't have even known that I could even apply my chemical engineering knowledge principles in the petroleum industry, right? Because going into chemical engineering, I actually went into chemical engineering because I like chemistry, right? That was the initial motivation, right? But going into it, I realized that wow, this field has more to it. There's a whole lot more to chemical engineering, to being a chemical engineer, than just chemistry and mathematics, right? So you could contribute to the energy scene, right, at large, and looking at where the world is going to, right? So the world consumes so much an amount of energy every year, right? And we are currently in the transition from renewables to non-renewables rather to renewables, right? And chemical engineers will play a very significant role in that, right? So currently, um, I plan to go into the oil and gas industry and learn other petroleum engineering principles and see how those principles can be adapted in the future energy industry. You understand? So because as an engineer, right, your knowledge is not you know
It's not
it,
a
it,
waste, it's of
cannot expire.
importance.
You understand? It cannot expire in any area of the world. It will always be useful, right? So that's one field that
Okay,
will
thank you
always.
very much. Um, so for those of us that are looking to be process engineers, like what should we be expecting? What do we understand as process engineering? Because
Hello, I
okay,
didn't get
I'm
that.
sorry. I said process engineering from my perspective deals with the controlling of various systems. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Kind of. Could you please elaborate on that? Tell us more
Okay.
about it.
So process engineering basically deals with processes, right? So anything that requires processes, anything that requires, you know, um, from one step to another step to another, from one stage to another stage, right? Process engineering deals with process engineering rather. So take for example, in the oil and gas industry, there's what we call gas dehydration, right? So if you want to dehydrate a gas, there are different stages the gas will pass through, right? So that is the process. First stage you do this, first stage you do this, another stage you do this, right? So that's process engineering, right? So there are different parameters with each process and different conditions that the particular stage has to do with, and controlling those factors, controlling those things is what process engineering is all about, right? So there are a whole lot of other things that process engineering deals with, but that's just a basic overview of that. So for those looking to go into process engineering, that's chemical engineering, right? That's just a brief overview of that. Anything that has to do with processes um, is what process engineering is all about.
Okay, well, thank you very much. For our um other undergraduate 300, 200 level that are looking to go for internships, could you tell us how you landed your internship opportunity, where you did it? Because then I know when I was looking for it was quite hard. I had to, sorry to say, I had to use one connect because applications were just impossible. So how
Wow.
can people get internship opportunities, and how will they act in those various fields that will enable them to get further opportunities in case of coming back, or more connects, sort of. So
Okay. Um, in landing your internship, I think the important thing for you to do is um put your ears on the ground for information. And that's like the first thing I always tell people, right? Because information is key, right? If you get an information 1 day late, it will affect you. You understand? Because that extra 1 day can do a whole lot for you if you are very serious. You understand? So always put your ears on the ground for information. Whenever an application comes out, apply. You understand? And how do you apply so quick like that is by preparing your documents down. Right? So understand the basic documents that will be required of you, your CV, your cover letter, your internship letter from your department, signed and stamped, you understand, and all of those things. So get all of those details ready so that by the time an application comes out, you just fill the form and submit. You understand? So know how to seek information, right? What is more important than the information itself is knowing how to get that information. You understand? So I will advise that you source for information very timely and very fast so that um you don't start applying maybe few days before the deadline and start rushing and getting your documents ready. So that's basically it, right? So um for my internship, I applied. I basically applied. There are some internships that have to do with tests, and there are some internships that don't have to do with tests. So for internship that has to do with tests, you study, you prepare, you get the materials for preparation, you prepare very well for it. And for internships that don't have to do with tests, I think those ones are more of connect, right? So for connect, I would advise that members make use of LinkedIn very well, right? We have had webinar on how to optimize your LinkedIn usage. And we have
mhm.
had a webinar on internship, on maximizing your internship, your undergraduate internship as well. So if you had attended these two webinars, you would have, gotten tips on how to up your game, right? As far as internships are concerned, right? So know how to use LinkedIn very well, know how to know how to network via LinkedIn, right? And I'm sure I know a lot of people who landed their internship opportunities in big companies via LinkedIn. Yes. So you just have to know how to get those information and know how to get people who are fit to connect with you. You understand? So people who will be in the best position to help you get your internship opportunities. You understand? So and basically that's it. Know how to get information and know how to use your LinkedIn very well. Hello, Daniel.
Yes, Tope. Sorry, I had some network issues. So, for undergraduates looking forward to apply for internships, you should know how to seek information. Information is key. You should
Yes.
do not delay in your application, and the best way not to delay is getting your documents ready, um, being diligent, especially because there are some times where you might be applying, and because they see your performance, they tend to drop you off. So, Mr. President, are there any other words you have for us before
Okay. Hello. Okay, so finally, I would just leave members with this. Um, Currently, SPOU is in a very how would I call this, dire need of volunteers, right? So I would advise members, right, who are watching live and who are going to watch this later on to get involved. There are a whole lot of teams where you can use your skill, right? I would advise you to get involved and get um um and volunteer, right? So get involved and volunteer. Um Volunteering is something that goes a long way in boosting your career. You understand? Especially as a student. So get involved, volunteer, and develop yourself. Right. So there are a lot of things. We have about um 11 teams, if I'm not mistaken. Right. So just get involved. Contact any executive. You can contact Daniel. So and um I'm sure Daniel will be willing to bring you into his team. So there are a lot of other things. So we have the design team, we have the citywide team, right? We have the community engagement team, we have the publications team. So and um something else, we have great things coming for you
So
guys. So you guys should just watch out for SPOU in the coming weeks. Yeah. So that's it, Daniel. Thank you very much
you
for
should
having
be on
me.
the watch out.
Yes.
Thank you very much, President Tim Tope. We really appreciate you coming on board today.
Thank you. Thank
It
you
was
very
nice
much.
having you around. Thank you.
It was
So, for a summary of people who could not follow the whole thing, Temitope is the president of Society of Petroleum Engineers, is hardworking. Being hardworking and being diligent has helped him to go through the pandemic period in handling the student organization, was willing to lead, and also networking. When you network, it gives you a lot of different opportunities, gives you opportunities to meet people, to connect with people of like passion, and also applying for not only internships, applying for different opportunities. Once you are ready, once you have your documents ready, immediately you see it, don't hesitate to apply. Just go for it. I mean, the sky is your starting point. We thank you very much for being with us on today's edition of SP Talks, and we look forward to seeing you in the next edition. I remain my humble self, Oladapo Olatubosun. Have a great day.